extra point try now for Walsh. And it's good to make it 14-0. Here's Walsh now to kick this one off. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Falcons taking over on offense in just a second, and, you know, this year ended in disappointing fashion now. Last year was the ultimate version of heartbreak, but if you're a Falcon fan, this one was tough to swallow as well, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because let's be honest about it. Losing in the Super Bowl, I don't care how you lose, you were in the Super Bowl, you were playing for it all. This team was supposed to be as good or better. Ultimately ended up 10-6, found their way in the playoffs, but didn't get the deep run as they had the year before. So
now a play fake here on first down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
when you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Michael Bannon in there to sack him for a loss of 6. They go play action now. Ryan. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Cliff Averill in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And now a long one for Matt Bryant. He's hit from 62 in his career, but that was all the way back in 2006. And now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. Back deep for the Seahawks, the all-pro returner from 2015, Tyler Lockett. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. Before the offense changes hands here, let's look back at the Super Bowl February 5th. What a game. I know you were there calling it offensively, though. Impressive on both sides.
It certainly was, and let's face it, if you're in Minnesota, it's cold outside, but you talk about the offenses, they heated up in a big way. And how about Nick Foles? The backup quarterback turned MVP, 373 yards, 3 touchdowns, and, of course, the big one receiving on the Philly special.
Quite a story. As you and I were talking about off air, it was just a fluid game, not a lot of penalties, just really clean play.
Exactly the type of game the NFL needed for the audiences at home watching the game and, of course, people in attendance. A really well-played game.
Vic Beasley from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Now Wilson back into his end zone. He finds his man, Baldwin. And a nice gain at 21.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and boy, he's been good. Now it's Wilson. Flushed out right, and they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's third down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
They'll indeed go for it with Wilson. Being chased out left. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. So they go on fourth down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
Probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
So they'll